Hi, welcome to Loft 801. My name is Diego, and today I'm talking about Rita, directed by Jayro Bustamante and released on Shudder on November 22nd, 2024. Rita is a poignant Guatemalan film that intertwines dark fantasy with harrowing reality. Inspired by the tragic 2017 fire at Virgen de la Asuncion Safe Home in San Jose Pinula, Guatemala, where 41 girls burned alive. The film offers a heavy and compelling narrative, delving into themes of abuse, resilience, and the quest for justice. Now, before I hop into my review, if you want to support the channel, then please take a second to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you, I appreciate it. As a warning, I will be spoiling the entire movie, so please continue at your own risk. Also, trigger warning with this review. There are lots of heavy topics in this movie about abuse. Please click away if you don't want to hear about it. Lastly, if there's something you want to see reviewed, don't forget to let me know by leaving a comment and I will do my best to get to it. Thank you, I'm hopping in 3, 2, 1. The narrative follows 13-year-old Rita, portrayed by Juliana Santa Cruz, who escapes an abusive household only to find herself confined in a state-run orphanage. The institution is effectively a prison and houses girls categorized into groups, named after mythical beings, angels, princesses, fairies, and so on. Rita is assigned to the angel room where she experiences both cruelty and camaraderie amongst the girls. As she navigates the oppressive environment, Rita becomes a beacon of hope, leading the girls into a daring plan to escape and expose the institution's abuses. Rita is an interesting movie because it blends surreal narrative with harsh realities based on a true story. Big history lesson here, so buckle up. From the 1980s to the mid-2010s, Guatemala had a significant issue with adoptions. It is still the third largest country of origin for adoptions within the United States, with over 30,000 adoptions. A lot of these adoptions were run and overseen by the Guatemalan government. Unfortunately, every government is susceptible to corruption, and with such a large adoption base, there was a huge monetary incentive for the government to keep the numbers high. It sucks to say, but the Guatemalan government would illegally kidnap children from families, place them in safe homes, and auction or sell them to adopting parents in the United States, Canada, and European countries. It is so sad to even fathom. Imagine one day you're eating dinner with your family and then the police come and bust down your door, take your children, and you never see them again. This stuff was literally happening less than 10 years ago when I started high school. It's insane. Anyways, these children ranged from infant ages to 17 years old. At 18, these orphans were considered adults and removed from the state-run safe houses to pick up the pieces of their lives. What's really unfortunate is what happened behind the scenes. These safe houses were also called baby brokers. Many of the orphans and adoptees were sexually abused by police, social workers, doctors, government officials, contractors, teachers, and so on. This abuse was so rampant that there were hundreds upon hundreds of complaints against adoption processes and institutions. These issues were bad enough that even the president at the time, Jimmy Morales, was aware and involved. On top of the sexual abuse, children were physically abused, but it wasn't in the interest of the safe houses for children to have bruises on them because these institutions would take provocative photos of the children in scanty outfits and disperse the pics through WhatsApp. The goal was to sex traffic these children. Now, not every institution was like this, but many were. Like I said at the start of this review, the institution this film is based on is the Virgen de la Asuncion Safe Home in San Jose Pinula, Guatemala. The boys and girls in this home were rampantly physically and sexually abused, and nobody came to save them. The home had a capacity of 350 youth, but was actually housing between 700 to 800 children. On March 7th, 2017, the children rioted and broke out of the home in a mass escape. They protested the abuse, rape, and overcrowding. 85 victims managed to escape into the surrounding wood, but many of them were caught by police and dogs. This outbreak sparked a call with President Morales, who ordered the escapees be locked in a room since they had broken the law. 51 girls were confined to a schoolroom with no blankets, only mattresses. The national police guarded the room overnight and didn't allow the girls to leave the room for any reason, including to use the restroom. The following morning, the girls started a fire in the schoolroom as an act of protest. Sadly, the police guarding the room did not let the girls out, and 41 of them burned alive. Over the next few days and weeks, President Morales, the Attorney General, and the Secretary of Social Welfare, Carlos Rodas, were condemned. Rodas, 2 police officers, and a few others were arrested and charged with wrongful death, mistreatment of minors, and negligence. President Morales served his full term. This story is so tragic, and it honestly breaks my heart. Stuff like this happens all around the world. Human trafficking garners over $245 billion of profit annually around the globe. 169.9 billion of that is from sex trafficking. That's a heavy, staggering number. Given the narrative of this movie, I think the film does a good job of incorporating the fantasy and whimsical elements into the film to lighten the heaviness of what you're seeing. The fantasy elements of the film are motifs that underscore the girl's tragic world. The angel wings, the bunny ears, the fairy costumes, they all add to the surreal and ethereal tone of the film. It's a great juxtaposition of childlike innocence and a grim reality. The tone and ambience lend themselves to the haunting yet hopeful inner world of the girls. Each of the girls' rooms are unique. The angel room is adorned with cloud-like ceilings and swings. The princess room is adorned in several shades of pink and sparkles. They help the setting feel a little less grim. Visually, the film is unique. It's filmed in a super wide format that enhances the storytelling. The opening drone shot following a red police car alongside a lake sets the dreamlike tone with its continuous take. The cinematography in the safe house is muted with occasional bursts of color that symbolize fleeting moments of hope and fantasy. For the most part, scenes are filmed well with enough light. There was only one scene towards the start of the film where it was nighttime and very dark in the scene. I could barely make out figures moving, so there was room for improvement there. However, to make up for it, the scene of the girls escaping was beautiful and perfectly captured the hope the girls had. I really enjoyed the soundtrack of this movie. It complemented the narrative very well, blending haunting melodies with ethereal compositions. The best word to describe it is whimsical. It feels mystical and mysterious, yet there's some menace to it. Not to repeat myself, but it helps the film explore harsh realities through a magical lens. During pivotal moments like the girls' riot and escape, the music amplifies the emotional impact of the scenes. It's honestly wonderful and I have zero complaints. The only complaint I have with the production design is for the spirits of the dead girls. Referred to as stars, their costume and makeup are excellent. Unfortunately, the poor choice was made to add dissipating sparkling lights on the girls using CGI. These lights are distracting, look cheesy, and don't even match the color of the Christmas light bulbs wrapped around the stars. I understand this movie was made with a really low budget, and I really admire that. However, when you have a low budget, it's better to not use CGI or special effects because they take away from your meaning and message. In this case, they look like a high school project. While I'm speaking about the stars, I want to talk about the casting. Most of the stars were great. However, there were two stars with red hair and glasses that just completely stood out with the rest of the cast. They looked so over the top and felt out of place. Their acting was fine, but they didn't fit the tone of this movie and felt goofy. Moving on to better acting, Juliana Santa Cruz delivers a compelling performance. She captures Rita's vulnerability and determination. Her portrayal is what anchors this film and provides an emotional depth that resonates and makes you question the injustice of her situation. She escaped her abusive household by explaining to police that her father had been sexually abusing her since she was 7 years old. Unfortunately, the system locked her away into a situation that was just as bad. As you watch this movie, all you can do is root for her to be tough and escape. What really messed with me and tugged at my heartstrings was that she looked like one of my younger cousins. It was like seeing a family member go through abuse and not a pleasant watch. I appreciate the other cast members. Angela Quevedo and Isabela Aldana play Slumi and Terca, some of Rita's closer and tougher sisters. The girl whose performance I really enjoyed was Alejandra Vasquez as Bebe. I have never seen an actress with Down syndrome, let alone a child actress with Down syndrome. I was incredibly impressed with her performance and hope she has a long career. The final thing I'll say about this movie is that it was very informative for me. After I watched this movie, I talked with my parents and they confirmed that yes, the adoption centers were a huge problem growing up. Several family friends had to go to court to testify for and against certain adoption cases. This movie definitely piqued my interest on Guatemalan history and politics, and I would love to see another film that educates me. Rita is a Guatemalan film that blends surreal fantasy and harsh reality, following 13-year-old Rita as she escapes an abusive home, only to be confined in a state-run orphanage that is effectively a prison. Juliana Santa Cruz delivers a powerful performance as Rita, navigating both cruelty and camaraderie in an institution where girls are grouped as mythical beings like angels, fairies, and princesses. Drawing inspiration from the true tragedy of the Virgen de la Asuncion Safe Home fire, where 41 girls perished in 2017, the film sheds a bright light on the systemic abuse and corruption within Guatemala's child welfare and adoption systems. The film juxtaposes whimsical elements such as angel wings and fantastical costumes with grim settings, symbolizing the girls' resilience within abuse and oppression. Visually unique with its super wide format and art house cinematography, Rita amplifies its emotional depth with a whimsical yet menacing soundtrack. Despite low budget limitations and some CGI missteps, the film's narrative power and educational impact make it a compelling watch. Through its heartbreaking story, Rita brings attention to issues of abuse, trafficking, and systemic failures, leaving a lasting impression and sparking critical conversations. It is a movie that left me hungry for more Guatemalan filmography. Thank you for listening to my review of Rita. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and hit subscribe. If you did not enjoy the content, thank you for sticking around. As always, I would love to read what you have to say, so leave a comment and let me know what you're thinking. Also, if there's something you want to see reviewed, don't forget to let me know and I will do my best to get to it. Lastly, if you want to see some more from me, then you can check out my vlogs linked up above or my podcast, Good Friends. Again, thank you for watching. My name is Diego and I will see you next time.